Oh, Gina,
Yes,
you went to the rodeo.
I did. My cousin Jubal, his son Rowdy, was representing the great state of California in the National High School Rodeo Championships, which
What's his specialty?
saddle bronc.
Saddle, not bareback.
No, saddle bronc. I don't think they do bareback in high school. But it's called the National High School Rodeo. There were people there from Canada, from Mexico.
Those are
from
nations.
Australia.
Yeah, those are nations. That's
from New Zealand. And next year, Italy's going to be there. Now, Rowdy's event is saddle bronc, and you don't bring your own animal for that, obviously.
No.
But if you are a team roper or a barrel racer, you got to have your own animal for that.
You can't rent them.
I mean, you can, but you probably want your own for that. So that means people from Australia and New Zealand were flying their horses to participate in this, to the tune of like $6,000 a pop to fly your animal.
Just think if you're a polo player.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to do the same thing
all the time. And I think some of the countries that sent people, they're not expecting people to pay that. They help them do that, but so
how was it?
Well, so first of all, I went up with the Sainted Mary Claire, and she said, "Let's stay at the Little America because it's close by." They have the original Little America up there, and you guys know the story about how the Little America started.
I don't know. Earl Sinclair needed some place to.
No, he was working at a sheep ranch in Wyoming, and there was a horrible blizzard snowstorm, and he got stuck in the blizzard and had to ride it out in his truck. And he said a prayer to God and said, "If I make it through tonight, I will build a hotel right where we stand," because where the Little America is makes no sense. It is.
I've always thought that.
What do you mean it makes no sense? It's right on I-80.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's so. Anyway, we're going to stay at the Little America. Well, she had a friend who also had a grandson that was participating in the rodeo who went there a day earlier and said, "Well, I'll stay at the Little America." She called my mom and said, "We left, and you also should not stay at the Little America." It's that bad. So there's a Hilton hotel in Rock Springs.
By the way, get ready for Earl Sinclair's phone call, Katie.
Well, then we might get a Hilton call too. Rock Springs. So Mary Claire goes online to make a reservation at the Hilton there, and she's looking at the reviews, and it's good review, beautiful, newly renovated hotel. This is great. And the third review down says there's bed bugs in room 202. Now, my mom, not just taking that at its word, called the hotel and said, "I read online that there are," and the manager that answered the phone said, "Thank you for calling and asking about that, because people can put reviews of anything they want, and they can't do anything about that." By the way, I'm going to need another break to actually talk about the rodeo because we're almost out of time. But the manager said, "Our newly renovated hotel doesn't have screens. So if people open the window, there's flying bugs and things that come in." And this woman brought a bug up to the front desk and said, "Look, I have a bed bug." And the lady's like, "That's got wings. That's not a bed bug there." So long story short, we stayed at the Hilton, which was nice and did not have bed bugs.
I still think you should have stayed at the Little America.
It apparently was not.
History and tradition. So you go on the word of your mom's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd want to find out for myself.
And then we ate at a brew pub there in Rock Springs and ordered onion rings. And they brought out the onion rings, and my mom and I are eating the onion rings, and my mom said, "I don't think I've ever had a bad onion ring." Usually an onion ring is pretty. It was a bad onion ring.
Usually you can do pretty well with an onion ring,
know.
but yeah.
So
there are bed bugs in these onion rings.
So we ate there at this because I'm like, well, this is the food I'm going to have, so I better eat it. Then we get to the rodeo, and if you go to my Instagram page, I have a picture of this. They had food trucks there. And guess what food truck they had there? Steak
Bed bugs?
bites.
Which one?
Steak fries?
Steak bites.
Steak bites.
Yeah.
I could have had steak bites for dinner at the rodeo, but I had already eaten the bad onion rings.
Well, we earlier we talked about Gina going to the rodeo up in Rock Springs with her mother to see her nephew. Is it?
My cousin's son, my cousin Jubal's son, Rowdy.
So he's competing in the national finals rodeo, high school rodeo.
Yeah.
in Rock Springs, and young Rowdy is a bronc rider.
Saddle bronc rider.
Saddle bronc.
Yeah, for California. Well, so I told you we finally got into the hotel without bed bugs. And I did get some texts from people confirming that you shouldn't stay at the Little American Rock Springs.
Would
That
you
it's really bad.
Would you knock it off? You're going to get us in trouble here.
I'm just talking about a personal experience that I had. Excuse me. So the rodeo, like I was saying, people from all over the world, not just the United States, and they do the national anthem. And throughout the week, they would do the national anthems of different countries to honor the people there. And the night we were there, they did the Mexican national anthem, which is an awesome anthem that I don't know that I've ever heard. It's very upbeat and fun, as you would expect
Is
it
it mariachi?
to be. Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's.
Let me search.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find it.
I enjoyed it.
So how did Rowdy do?
So you travel all the way to Rock Springs for 8 seconds, because you have to stay on the bronc for 8 seconds. He stayed on about 6.
6.
But here's what I am blaming, and hats off to the DJ at the rodeo. He played AC/DC and Metallica and Beastie Boys.
Oh, the great old country classics.
And there was no country music being played at this rodeo. But so Rowdy's in the chute, ready to come out, and they're playing Rapper's Delight. The hip hop, hippie to the hippie to the hip, and there's a rhythm there. And I am blaming the rhythm of Rapper's Delight, because you're riding the bronc and you have to you get a rhythm going so you can stay on. And I think the Rapper's Delight rhythm threw off, because the horse was not in rhythm with Rapper's Delight.
You know, you have a really unique ability to look for excuses wherever you can find them.
But Rowdy was there there was I'd say about 20 kids from California that were there. And I met about 7 of his friends. So these are 16, 17, 18-year-old boys. Every single one of them, when I met them, stuck out their hand, looked me in the eye. Nice to meet you, ma'am. My name's Creek, or whatever his name is.
Creek.
I met a Creek.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
I'm Boulder.
But shaking hands, looking you in the eye, and being a polite gentleman, and that's not, they weren't like copying each other. These were in different situations in different places.
Sticking out your hand and looking somebody in the eye and sticking out your hand and shaking is a good way to pass diseases.
I was very impressed with these teenage boys.
Did you get COVID?
I did not
Okay.
get COVID.
Yeah, see, their mama's done raised them right.
I mean, there is something about that. Or I think it's also they're being modeled like their dads do that, so they watch their dad do that. And Carrie, you were raised this way. This was a culture you were raised in.
And it stayed with me for a while. It's gone now.
It's gone now.
I was raised by drunken wife beaters.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
But the food at the rodeo, I told you they had a steak bite truck. They had a mini donut truck. It's great food at the rodeo.
How small was that truck?
It was just tiny. But then if you go to my Instagram page and you scroll through the pictures I posted about this, RFH Gina, the very last picture you might be confused about. It is a picture of rows and rows and rows of golf carts. You can rent a golf cart at the rodeo, like if you're participating in it and you're staying there all week, because the area of this arena and campground is so huge, it's too big to walk back and forth from. So for $900,
What?
you can rent a golf cart for the week
What?
to get you back and forth. And there were hundreds of them. I mean, this wasn't just a dozen golf carts. Rows and rows and rows of golf carts that people paid $900.
This is a rodeo. Why don't you just ride your horse
Well,
back
this
and
is
forth?
my question, but
Somebody's making a lot of money.
yeah. But I'm also wondering, where do these golf carts come from? And
I want to know the difference between buying a golf cart, the price of that, and
Yeah.
just renting this golf cart.
because somebody brought all these golf carts there to, like, do they take these around to other, like, Katie, you go to festivals and things. Can you rent a golf cart?
No,
No.
you can't rent them. I mean, the DJs use them, the maintenance and the workers and stuff like that. They all use golf carts to get around, obviously, to take things around. But no, us as attendees, we get a walk.
You get a walk, but it's fun. It's fun. Like, wouldn't you have liked your own golf cart?
Yeah, actually.
And I was curious why some of them had pool toys strapped to the top of them,
Are those like you can?
but I figured it out.
Are they like shuttles?
Well, no,
Oh.
it's so you can spot your cart in the sea of carts. Mine's the one that has the inflatable unicorn strapped to the top
See,
of it.
you can't rent your own golf cart, but there are people with golf carts that'll drive around and be like shuttles that you can pay for,
Yeah.
because sometimes the camping is a mile away from the actual festival grounds.
That's what this was.
But
Well,
you don't get
what I
one
would've
yourself.
gotten?
What?
The 25-foot inflatable Beetlejuice. Put it on the top of mine.
But the carts, they all have labels on them with the rodeo participant's name and number. And I said, okay, why did they do that? Because if you're out messing around in your golf cart and causing trouble,
They can find
they
you.
can find you. So I know this is rodeo season. We've got Days of 47 going on and stuff. Yeah, go to the rodeo. It's a good
I
time.
had no idea. I wonder what the golf cart culture is like at the Days of 47
I don't know.
rodeo over there at the Calvin L. Rampton Salt Palace Convention Center.
I don't know if it's the
The only good thing at the rodeo, because it's a lot of animal cruelty, is mutton busting.
because
That's
that
the best
hurts
thing,
the kids and not
Because
the
the kids get hurt
Yeah.
every time, you know? I stand up and I applaud whenever the mutton busting starts happening.
Did you see any serious injuries, Gina?
Oh, Rowdy got stepped on, but he got up and walked away. I did not see any serious injuries, no. But it's not to say it didn't happen, but
Somebody get run over by a golf cart?
They're dangerous.
that was my weekend in Rock Springs.
Did you get any steak bites?
No, I did
Why not?
Because we had eaten before I got there, and I wasn't hungry.
Weren't you? Didn't your appetite get all worked up by watching all them sweaty boys riding horses?
You
Ma'am.
would think. I opted for the mini donuts, which were awesome.
No, okay.